In the last video, we learned about the poison honeybee, which had transformed into a queen honeybee and now looks like a humanized version of its former self. Not even the tower manager knows much about it, and he decides to ask his grandpa for details later. Sejun is shocked to see her like this, and the bee is pleased to receive his compliments about how different she looked. Her story began when she first consumed nectar from Sejun's farm. Her body began to change and became fit to produce babies. This led to the queen and other bees ignoring her, so she decided to go independent. She set up her nest in Sejun's cave, and there she underwent many transformations to reach this form. Seeing how fond she is of Sejun, the queen bee's kids also familiarize themselves with him quickly. They become friends with the rabbits, too, and their family extends yet again. A few days later, the blue moon has blessed a carrot with its power, and as Sejun harvests it, he finds it to be of better rank than his other crops. He gives it to the rabbits, as they want it more than him, and goes to harvest other blessed crops. He even completes his pending quest by giving a blue cherry tomato to the manager, who says he will think about giving Sejun a reward. Meanwhile, Theo is back from his sales trip, and now the baby bees think he is a threat. Sejun calms down the matter, and the bees accept Theo as a part of the cave. Then they discuss the sales. This time, Theo had sold the tomatoes for more than the marked price, and he gave the profit to Sejun. The tower manager had been keeping an eye on the merchant all this time and informing Sejun about it. But then he sees Theo snacking on churru, a cat snack from the outside world. Since the number of things one can carry inside the tower is limited, Sejun understands that there must be someone who really wants to meet Theo to bring such a snack to the tower. And that gives him a new idea to earn money. As Sejun grins menacingly while looking at Theo, he offers him some churru. But Sejun snatches the churru from his hand, saying that he is confiscating it. Theo is shocked and pulls Sejun's shirt, asking him to return it. He says that he got the snack by taking a photo with a human, and it was his. But that is exactly what Sejun plans to use against him. Theo took a photo with someone in exchange for the snacks, and that was technically a deal he was not allowed to make. According to the contract they had signed, Theo was not allowed to have additional clients without permission from Sejun. This was a breach of Special Condition 3 of their contract. Theo is stunned. He did not even know that this condition was so strict, but getting him sad and upset was just part of Sejun's plan. He tells him not to be so upset, calling him Sales Cat Theo. Rather than that, they should talk about the new clients. Theo is confused and asks Sejun when he was given back the position of the sales cat. Sejun tells him that he is giving him the sales cat position for 1 hour right now, and if he did well in future trades, he could even become the sales cat for multiple hours. The cat forgets his disappointment from earlier and gladly agrees with Sejun's idea, and then begins his special treatment. Sejun picks Theo up and makes him sit in his lap, calling him Sir Sales Cat. They are sitting in front of the fire while a rabbit is fanning them. Sejun asks Theo if the warmth from the fire and wind is to his liking. The other rabbits are preparing a delicious meal of roasted fish. Sejun lets Theo lay down comfortably on his lap and says that he should enjoy his churru snacks like this. Sejun pats him as he feeds him with his own hands, and Theo thinks this was the best experience. He is ecstatic, thinking that being a sales cat comes with some amazing perks. This was the best feeling in the world for him. Sejun asks him if he enjoyed the churru, and now the sales cat wants to eat grilled fish. Sejun replies that he will bring them right away. Not only that, he was also preparing them himself. As the fish are being cooked, he asks Theo how he can go to the 38th floor so easily without encountering monsters. He replies that it is because of his wandering merchant license that he proudly displays it to Sejun. It was in the shape of a badge, and it proved he was a wandering merchant. There was an expensive annual membership fee to be paid to the Wandering Merchant Association to maintain this license. The higher one's level as a merchant, the more fees one has to pay, but the benefits also increase with the fees. Sejun is impressed, and Theo further tells him that one could use various association-protected facilities with the license. Not being attacked by monsters was just one of the privileges it granted. Monsters can recognize that they are wandering merchants and will not attack them. Sejun asks if Theo can bring the hunters to this floor using the license. But that is not possible. Theo replies that even though the monsters won't attack him, they will still attack the hunters with him. Besides, he uses an exclusive shortcut called the Merchant Passageway that is accessible only to wandering merchants. If one wants to use the shortcut to go to other floors, they must have the license. And if Theo did not have access to the Merchant Passageway, there was no way he could go to the 38th floor from here in just 5 days. Sejun is curious about this and asks what floor they are on right now, and Theo replies that this was the 99th floor. Sejun's brain takes a moment to fully process the implications of that sentence. He asks Theo to repeat, who asks him if Sejun did not know they were on the 99th floor. The shock hits Sejun now, and he is terrified. The 99th floor has to be the most dangerous place in the tower, and he was struck here. He falls to his knees, and Theo asks him what was wrong. Sejun is still reeling from the shock. He had previously thought that Theo did not meet monsters, but he went to the 38th floor using normal means. Since it took only 10 days for a round trip, he thought they were only a few levels away from the 38th floor. But just knowing that they were on the 99th floor is enough to terrify Sejun. He tries to snap out of it, convincing himself that it does not make a difference. Theo is also trying to wake him up, and he finally manages to do so by pressing Sejun's cheeks. But he was not doing it for Sejun. He was doing it because the fish that were meant for him had turned into ash. He points Sejun towards the fish he was supposed to roast. Sejun starts cooking a new batch as he thinks about his situation. The hunters had only started climbing to the 40th floor a few weeks ago. It would take years for them to reach the 99th floor, and Sejun wonders if he should just give up on leaving the tower. Theo orders him to grill the fish properly and not burn them like the last time. These were the commands of the sales cat. But Sejun is irritated and tells him that his 1 hour is over. Theo is shocked that his time as the sales cat has passed already. He thinks that it was such a shame, but Sejun was probably not even keeping track of time. But then Sejun notices the medal, or the merchant's license, and seeing it gives him some nice ideas. A group of hunters are on the lower floors. They are in a desperate condition. Many of them are wounded, and their rations are about to end. They have no potions or food left, and there are too many monsters in the wild for them to retreat while carrying their wounded friends. And as they despair that they are going to die here, someone comes to their aid. Sejun is there with Theo, and he asks the hunters if they are looking for some good items. The hunters cannot make a mistake in identifying the legendary wandering merchant and tower farmer, Park Sejun. And along with him is his mascot, the orange sales cat, Theo. They exclaim upon meeting them, and Sejun acts smug as he says that his story has reached everywhere. The hunters praise him, saying that the legends about Sejun are true. He appeared in front of the helpless hunters and saved them. They want to buy everything he has and give him all the tower coins they have. Sejun and Theo are happy to have earned a lot of money. This was what he imagined as he saw the wandering merchant's license. It was a nice dream, and Sejun asks Theo if he can also become a wandering merchant. But Theo says that he was someone from outside the tower. Only creatures born inside the tower could become wandering merchants. He asks Sejun if he did not know even that. Sejun is devastated yet again. As he shivers in rage and disappointment, Theo tells him that no matter how cool it sounds, he should give up on it. But then Sejun shouts at the top of his lungs, pulling his hair and cursing his fate. Theo and the Black Rabbit are startled as they are standing closest to him. As Sejun curses the tower, other rabbits are also shocked, as are the bees. The tower manager feels like he heard something, even though his office is far away from the cave. Sejun cools down and finds everyone staring at him. Theo is standing on the Black Rabbit's head and asks him why he was shouting like that. He scared them. Sejun sighs, thinking that nothing has changed with this knowledge. He should have prepared himself for any type of hardship the moment he entered the tower. And it would not be a good thing for him if he got angry like this. And as he thinks about what he can do if he cannot escape the tower, Sejun takes a deep breath. He then says that he will live every moment to the fullest. If he could not get out of the tower, he would make this place his home. The story then moves on to the human world. In an office, a woman has brought 2 magical cherry tomatoes to show a man. He asks her if they were the rumored magical fruits that were recently gaining popularity among the hunters. The woman says that he was right. These were the same mysterious fruits. They belonged to her brother, who was a part of the Phoenix Guild. He had told her about his meeting with a wandering merchant from whom he bought these tomatoes. She cannot see the information window on the fruits, but she knows that the man is a hunter and can see it. The woman is named Jenny, and she is the CEO of Easter Pharmaceuticals. The man is called Michael McLaren, and he is the vice president of the Gaggle Food Company. He laughs as he reads the description of the magical cherry tomato. He is not impressed and calls it a crappy item, asking what Jenny wants to do with it. But she asks him if Michael, who was the vice president of a company that controlled 39% of the global food market, lost his touch for business. Michael does not like her words and tells her that even though she is the CEO of the Easter Pharma Company, nothing good will come out of running her mouth carelessly. That was a warning and a threat for her not to speak nonsense, but Jenny is not intimidated by the threat. She confidently snaps her fingers and a screen opens up showing the details of the research they had done on the cherry tomatoes. It mentions that not only could the cherry tomatoes dissolve 10 grams of fat instantly upon consumption, but they could also improve one's metabolism. It could increase the basal metabolic rate by 5–10%, meaning a person would burn more calories while doing the basic life-sustaining things like breathing and digesting food. As Michael reads the report, he is stunned. It seemed too good to be true, and now he realizes what Jenny wanted to say. She then explains that they failed to extract the active compound of the magic cherry tomatoes in the lab. It was obvious since the tomato was an item from the tower, but even in such a short period of time, they were able to get some astonishing results from their research, which were already beyond their imagination. Michael reclines in his chair as he asks Jenny what her reason was to show him this information. This was a business she could monopolize on her own. But Jenny replies that she needs something from the vice president. She needs his previously unsuccessful tower farming project. Michael is shocked. He asks how Jenny knew about the project, but she just laughs as she gets up. Jenny asks Michael if he does not want to regain the trust of his father, who is the current president of Gaggle Company. The board of directors was going to choose the new chairman of the company on behalf of the current chairman, who was sick, and it seems that Jenny has eyes on that position. That is why she was willing to exchange this valuable information with Michael. She asks him what he thinks. She then asks if the cherry tomato looks appetizing to him. Michael grins as he takes the cherry tomato from her hand and then eats it. It was sweet and delicious. After saying that, he burst out laughing, and Jenny quietly watches him. But then he eats the second tomato too, because it was so delicious, and asks Jenny if she has more. She said the second piece was hers, and he ate it. If he wanted more, he should just go inside the tower and buy some himself. This chapter ends here. Poor Sejun received 2 big shocks today, but now that he knows where he stands, he should be more relieved. The introduction of the 2 business tycoons, one of whom is a hunter himself, should add more interesting elements to the story. Let us find out what happens now in the next video, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment. And also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.